Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Glad to welcome you back to the Crimson Tide Sports Network, and welcome to this edition of Byrne Live. It's time for our monthly conversation with Director of Athletics for the University of Alabama, Greg Byrne. And Greg, roll tide. It's great to see you. Merry Christmas. It's a very exciting time of the year as football is gearing up for the postseason. We got basketball right in the swing of things. You've been very busy over this past month.
Well, yeah, our department obviously has, and it's been fun to be along for the ride. And Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Happy holidays, Happy New Year. Obviously it's a wonderful time of year, a chance hopefully for people to get a chance to spend some time with family and celebrate the Christmas season. So obviously we still got a lot going on throughout it, which is what we want. So we're very pleased with that.
We certainly are, and it all starts with football. Just what did you make of those last two games we saw, both the comeback win against Auburn and also the SEC championship victory against Georgia?
You know, I was talking to a number of people about it after the Auburn game and the Georgia game. Both of those were really joyful wins. And when I say that, obviously to come back and win in overtime against Auburn in the Iron Bowl, our fiercest rival, it's something that just was something that we all could celebrate. Coach Saban and I talked about. You can't take this for granted. And we went down there in a tough environment and found a way to have some special plays and things happen. Our drive at the end of regulation, Bryce led it from, I think it was 97 yards if I'm remembering correctly. And, that's going to be a play that we're all going to remember, or a series we're all going to remember for a long time. And then to go into Georgia and to Atlanta and play the Georgia Bulldogs. Obviously, they have a great program and team, and to find a way to go and to beat them, those wins were a lot of fun. Every win should be fun, but those were ones that will resonate with our program for a long time. And at the same time, too, enjoy those for a short period of time and then get focused ahead. And we have a very challenging opponent in the Cotton Bowl against Cincinnati. And, Coach and the guys and the staff have all been getting the row, and everybody's working hard to have another opportunity to go have something really special happen for our program. But it starts with making sure we do everything we can to prepare for Cincinnati because they're a heck of a program.
Certainly are, and we certainly love celebrating team wins, and we've got to celebrate also during this December month, and it's award season, a lot of individual wins for Crimson Tide football players, and most notable, of course, the Heisman Memorial Trophy, as Bryce Young is the winner for this season, back-to-back winners for the Crimson Tide, and I'm sure for you, different experiences. Last year, Devontae winning the award here in Tuscaloosa, and then this year getting to go with Bryce to New York.
Yeah, I actually, so if you're one of your student athletes wins the Heisman, the next night on Sunday is a Heisman dinner, and all the former winners who are able to make it are there. So you just sit there, and as a guy who loved college football literally my entire life, to see all the greats sitting up there and is really fun. And so I spoke on behalf of the university, and but I said last year at the Heisman Nation, I think we were playing Florida that day in men's basketball. I grabbed Dr. Bell right before halftime, President Bell. We walked over to Malmore to the media room, watched Devontae win the Heisman, and we were back in Coleman for the second half of the game. This is a little different this year, obviously, which we were glad for Bryce and everybody involved that was the case. And obviously, to have, and we did not know about the video they were going to have with Devontae beforehand. It was very memorable. And then to be able to have that be something that, to have Bryson go win the Heisman is really something that I think everybody will cherish, whether you're watching it on TV or whether you were at the event. What a remarkable accomplishment, standing young man. He and his family are wonderful people. Got a chance to spend some more time with him back there in New York. And he has handled his entire time here at Alabama with class, with hard work, with resiliency. And you do those things and great things can happen. And obviously seeing Bryce win the Heisman was a testimony to him. And he did give great credit to everybody around him that helped support him to make that become a reality. And it's something that our entire fan base, our entire department, our university can embrace and celebrate in, because it's something that the power of what the University of Alabama is something that is so unique and so special in college sports and college football in particular. And so when those moments happen, obviously it's the individual gets the award, and well deserved. But at the same time, too, it's everybody that shares in it together, and that's really something special about college sports, and it was fun for everybody to be a part of it. That's for sure. But we're sure proud of Bryce.
Definitely are for all that he's done. Hopefully, will continue to do for the Crimson Tide football team. We mentioned the team is getting ready for Cincinnati coming up in the Cotton Bowl, but what can you tell us about the preparation that your staff is doing? Fans may not realize there have already been teams from UA Athletics going to Dallas to get ready for that game, as well as a potential matchup in Indianapolis. Just what are those teams doing when they're going on trips like that?
Yeah, obviously we want the focus to be on our team, our student athletes, our coaches, and our families that go to support them throughout the year. But you're right, Roger, there's a lot of people behind the scenes, everything from our ticket office staff to our operations staff to, administration. If you get selected for the CFP, you go on a site visit. A number of people on our staff go and get everything prepped, both for athletics and for the university. And then and they go to the final site too. All four teams go to that as well, and get everything lined up. That if you're fortunate enough to get through the first round, that you're prepared, because it's a pretty quick turnaround for the second round or the championship. So our folks have been here from whatever was selection on the Sunday after the CFP, right? From that moment on, a number of members of our staff have been here, not quite around the clock, but sun up to sundown and into the evening, just getting everything, all the logistics to make sure this is prepared in the right way. We're moving our entire operation, which is not just something you jump on a plane and go do, but it's multiple trucks. It's a lot of investment, time and energy and resources to make sure our kids, our student athletes, can have a great experience, be focused on the task at hand, and do everything we can to be as prepared as possible to go play a good game against a really good Cincinnati program. So that's what the focus has been. We appreciate all the fans that are going to make the trek to Dallas, and y'all make such a big difference in being there and being a part of it. And we can't tell you how much we do appreciate it. We realize that's a sacrifice, financially, especially for people to be there. But we just we're excited about what's ahead, and we appreciate everybody's hard work and support to make this happen.
So that's keeping you very busy, of course, and along with all the games and events we're seeing on campus. But also, over the past month, have you been working to make sure that the future of the volleyball program is in good hands with a new head volleyball coach? What can you tell us about the selection process and our new volleyball coach at the University of Alabama, Rashinda Reed?
Yeah, we were excited to announce Rashinda yesterday. Hiring coaches is an interesting process, Roger. It seems like when all the attention's on you if you're hiring a football coach or men's basketball, men's or women's basketball coach, or whatever the sport may be. Sometimes a sport like volleyball or some other ones may not get the same level of attention. But as the athletic director, you feel a huge sense of responsibility, no matter what program it is, because you want to make sure your student athletes in that sport have a great experience. That doesn't mean coaches won't be tough on them. That doesn't mean that, and I tell recruits when I meet with them here in my office with the parents, I said, listen, I'm never going to talk to you about playing time, because every kid wants to play, and almost always when you're not playing the majority of the game, you think you should be playing more. But coaches, their livelihood depends on the right formula from a playing time standpoint. And so what we do is you want to make sure that you have a coach, no matter the sport, that is going to be passionate about supporting the student athlete, about coaching the student athlete, about developing them in all aspects. And I always say, when you're interviewing coaches, you're going to talk about A to Z, academics to zone defense, and everything in between, and how you're going to run that program. And Rashinda had a great plan for Alabama volleyball. She knew our league. She competed in this league as a student athlete. She's from Fairbanks, Alaska, which I think in all my years of interviewing coaches, I'd never interviewed in Fairbanks. She played junior college volleyball on the coast of Oregon in Coos Bay, which most people, if you've been to Bandon Dunes, it's right in that area, and if you're a golfer. But her journey, her experience is very different. And the job that she did at Illinois as part of the staff that really escalated their program to a very high level, I just really felt it was a really good opportunity for us to get one of the rising stars in college volleyball. And we introduced her to the team yesterday. The response for them has been very, very positive. And if you look at the volleyball community across the country, from the people at Illinois to the people in different programs, you can tell the response has been very, very positive, and we're excited to get her to town. I told her one of the really cool things about our volleyball program is playing in Foster, and it's a really good size that can create a great atmosphere. And for everybody who's listening, I'm serious about this. I've sports represented behind me. I don't. Obviously, it's like somebody asking you who your favorite child is as far as what your favorite sport is. That doesn't exist. You want to support them all, and you understand the importance of some and the impact it has on your entire department. College volleyball sport, and I want to encourage our fans, take the time to come to a game next year at Foster, and you'll feel that energy and enthusiasm and passion, and it's a very athletic sport, and they're great athletes who are playing it. So Rashinda's coached it, she's played it, and she'll understand it, I think, at a really high level, and help us out to get to the levels that we expect to have for Alabama athletics.
Can't wait to be back inside Foster Auditorium watching the Crimson Tide once again. And Greg, a lot of fans this past weekend were feeling a little bit of deja vu to last year, as seeing announcements come in all across the country. The games are being postponed or canceled due to some COVID issues. And for Alabama men's basketball, the Crimson Tide's game coming up tonight was to be against Colorado State here in Birmingham. But Davidson becomes the new opponent. Just what can you tell us about the work done by the men's basketball staff to find a new opponent and make sure this game, the CM Newton Classic, does get played tonight in Birmingham?
Yeah, I got a call, I think I think it was Friday, if I'm not mistaken, from the AD at Colorado State, Joe Parker, who I've known for a long time. Joe's a good guy, and he called and said, hey, we may have some issues, and they've got a good team. This is going to be a really good men's college basketball game that both sides were excited to be a part of. So anyways, we started scrambling, both from Nate and his staff, and we tried to support here on the administrative side. Davidson became available. We were able to work it out on short order. I think within a couple hours, we found out that the game was not going to be happening. They had a window and an opening that made sense. We obviously are excited to be in Birmingham tonight with being the CM Newton Classic and what Coach Newton represented for our athletic department and university, in a great way to honor him. I talked to Martin, his son, and said, hey, man, we're going to do everything we can to still play this game. So we appreciate everybody's efforts. Obviously, some of the numbers with COVID are with the Omicron are something we're certainly paying attention to. I've been proud of our efforts of our department through this last year, darn well near 2 years now, right? We have tried to be very respectful of the virus. We've tried to, respect one another, and at the same time, too, try to move forward as safely as we possibly can. And that's the balance we've tried to strike, and I think we've done a good job with it. So we've tried to control what we can, and I'm really pleased with our department as a whole and what we've done from a vaccine standpoint, and now from a booster standpoint. I know Coach Saban talked about almost 90% of our eligible people who can get a booster have gotten a booster, and basically I think 99.5% of our football program is fully vaccinated, and we're gonna continue to do what we can to help and control it and respect it, but at the same time too, do everything we can to move forward. And we just want to continue to encourage everybody to do their part to help us move forward as safely as we can as we go through these challenging times. But I'm certainly proud of the efforts that everybody's put in to make sure we keep moving forward.
We want to see people stay healthy. We want to see them back in Coleman Coliseum for a lot of basketball, gymnastics, of course, that's coming. But also an event I know you probably love in December is commencement, seeing not only so many current student athletes earn their degrees in winter commencement, but also a lot of former student athletes making their way and making sure they complete their degree. I'm sure that's always a special time of the year for you, whether it's the fall or the spring commencement.
Yeah, obviously, the job our student athletes, our coaches, our staff have done academically for a long time here at Alabama, we're very proud of. And so, I just was looking, we had 27 of our student athletes earn their degrees in December across almost all of our sports. That's something that we love to see when they put their SEC graduate patch on, not just an SEC patch, but that is an exciting time. The pride the families have, the pride the individuals have in obtaining a college degree. It's not an easy path. A lot of people never accomplish that. So it's a wonderful time. We had a number of academic All-Americans, and 13 of our 27 competed on SEC championship teams, and so that's a great accomplishment too. We want them to have a first-class academic experience, but we also want to make sure we have a first-class competitive experience, and the two can go hand in hand. And I'm proud of the job that we do here at Alabama with that. We're committed to it. We will continue to be, and appreciate everybody's. I love the fact when we send stuff out about our academic accomplishments, how much pride our fan base takes in that too. And that's important.
It really is, and we're starting to wrap up here in 2021. We still have 10 days left before the calendar year is complete, and I know for a lot of people that means it's time to make those last-minute donations to the Crimson Tide Foundation and continue moving Alabama fans' athletics forward, and I'm sure that's something that's definitely on your mind as we get close to the end of the year.
Yeah, we obviously have been so appreciative and thankful for all the incredible support our thousands upon thousands of donors have provided. It's a group effort in what takes place. You can do end of the year giving for your tax donations. If you go to the Crimson Tide Foundation website, I know there's telephone information on there too. They will be in and out. The office will be between Christmas and New Year, but opportunity to get something in at the end of the year. We're into I think we're about ready to start our fourth year of our campaign for athletics and the Crimson Standard, and we have had a lot of success. Now, we didn't anticipate COVID when we launched that and the financial challenges that came along with that, but we are out actively raising money for phase two, and we hope to be able to announce some things sometime in the first quarter of 2022 of where we are, or give everybody an update. I certainly know the things that people are interested in and want to see happen. Nobody wants to see them happen more than I do. So it's something that our development team is working tirelessly on. They've had me out a lot on fundraising discussions and calls and solicitations. I can tell you we've been very fortunate. Our donors have really stepped up. What I also can tell you is going to take everybody. All right. And so soon after we go through this quiet phase of what we're doing, we'll come out to everybody. And whether it's giving $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, hopefully there's some other 7-figure and even 8-figure gifts out there that we don't know about. That's how you move this along to get some significant things accomplished. And because of the passion, the interest, the wonderful support of our donor base, I feel very confident we will be able to do that. But it will take everybody to make that happen. So we will be giving you that opportunity down the road here, and hopefully in the not so distant future. And when that time comes, we're hoping to hear a lot of yeses and a lot of amens from the church body as we move this thing forward.
We look forward to that, and that leads right into my final question, Greg, as we start to wrap up this monthly interview. The calendar is about to turn to 2022, as we mentioned. I know a lot of it may depend on what happens in Dallas on December 31st, but for you as the Director of Athletics, what are your biggest priorities heading into the new year?
Well, we got a lot of balls up in the air, as you can imagine. Obviously, we're paying close attention from a health standpoint with what's going on with COVID. But again, I've been proud of everything we've done leading up to this point, and we're going to continue to make sure we do everything we can to move forward safely. At the same time, too, we've got some facility projects that we know we need to be focused on. Never lose sight of our academic responsibilities. We also have, our winter sports in full gear right now. Men's and women's basketball are having success again this year, which we're proud of. Gymnastics is around the corner. Swimming and diving, track and field. I'm missing something right here. Softball, baseball are right around the corner, as are golf and tennises. So it's something that it's an exciting time of year with all of our sports. People, it's interesting, Roger. People say to me, "Boy, that fall season must be really busy for you." No, fall's actually not that bad. I get an occasional night at home. It's the spring where you have a lot of events, a lot of teams all going on. Plus, we have a lot of things on the national and the SEC level throughout the springtime. So it'll be very busy for us. But we just can't tell you how much we appreciate everyone's support, everyone's passion for our university. Not to look too far ahead, but next football season, we start our non-conference home and home games with soon-to-be SEC team Texas in 2025. But those start, and that'll be an exciting new time for our fan base for those. But we've got a lot to play for football right now. We've got a lot to play for our winter sports, and we want to have another great year where we can finish in the top 10 of the Directors' Cup from a competitive standpoint. And I think we got a shot to do it again, but we got to have a strong winter and a strong spring to do it, and finish off our fall sports as well as and hopefully continue to play well in football.
That's the plan. Well, Greg Byrne, just thank you so much for joining us here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network and giving us this monthly update on Tide Athletics. Just Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your family coming up, and we're looking forward to our next conversation. But until then, just thank you again for your time, and Roll Tide.
Thanks, Roger. Merry Christmas to you and your family and everybody out there, and hope to see you all in Dallas and Coleman in the winter, and Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, everyone. Thank you for watching.